It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. Yeah, Oluwa lifted me higher. Oh, now they wanna eat with me. Now they wanna drink with me. Now they see me as something. But I can't forget yesterday when they saw me as nothing. No one knows tomorrow, brother. No one knows tomorrow, sister. No one knows tomorrow, mama. No one knows tomorrow, Baba. Yeah. It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Wow, it is HBS show History Behind Success. Good to have you again on today's episode. Today, who is my guest on the program is a man who loves education. A man who has imparted knowledge to so many people. A man who has confidence in himself. A man who loves God. Who is this man? Join me as I make welcome to the program the chairman of Asuss, Delta State Chapter, Comrade Kenneth C.Okoh.Chairman.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
So you're looking very wonderful on this your native.
Oh, thank you very much.
So fine.
Thank you.
And you are looking good too.
Thank you. You two are not an exception. I must retaliate.
Can you tell me the secret behind this your glamour look?
First of all, I give it to God for giving me the body size, and second, the woman there at home.
She's doing a good job.
Because I was not what do I call it, dressing conscious before I met her. So then the designers who took time to learn how to do what to do best. So yeah, that's it.
All right, that's fine. Tell us, how was your growing up like?
This is, what do I say? It's like a question that is more difficult than the most difficult postgraduate exam I wrote.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's a whole lot of complex, funny, and painful mixed with pleasant history.
Oh.
Yeah. But the end of it all is thanks to God.
Okay, so
Yeah.
tell us how those painful and sweet experience, want to hear them.
First of all, I am the fifth child of among 8 children. One of my mother to my father in a polygamous home. 3 wives, 2 were married. And it was not funny. It was not funny at all. And the polygamous competition was there. Also, the entire system being ravaged by poverty. So, my childhood experience, we were just like they would say any other polygamous home. But to give an instance, it got so rough that books. My father loved education and my mother wanted to, but books were not, my father was not buying them according to our number. So this is the one that was most painful to me because from childhood I treasured the education I wanted to. I was sort of 3 of us, 2 girls from the other gate. They were my seniors.
Okay.
And I was junior to them. But we were 3 in the same class, same form. My father would buy, say, 1 book for a subject, or
for
2
the 3
books.
of you.
Yeah, or 2 books for a subject, and we would choose. The elder one would choose, the next choose, then I myself am empty. So I find myself renting myself out to those who have books. I wouldn't go and loan their books from them because of the bit I was denied. Renting myself out to those who have books to give me their books to read, and then I will come back and teach them. Even it led me to even teaching students of classes that were 1 year ahead of me to get their books. So they will give me first the books of their own class to read, to teach them, before they will give me the ones they have abandoned.
Wow. So you as a junior, you're not teaching your senior.
Yeah. And that was what really catapulted me into love for teaching. Wow. I actually started teaching while in secondary school, and it was deprivation. And what I'm telling you now, even my mother didn't know about it. Do you have your books? Yes.
So why did you keep it away from her?
Yeah. Why I kept it away was this, crisis in polygamy. I treasured my mother, I loved her. I knew the things that were happening there, so I decided that, no, I have to fend somehow. Right? So, I give glory to God for the kind of mother, the kind of father I have. My father gave me what I needed.
Which is education.
Education. He gave me what I needed in terms of verbal encouragement.
Okay.
He convinced me that there was no alternative. The only alternative to education was God. And that even God wants you to be educated. So he treasured education. My mother also did. So these 2 forces pushed me on.
Okay.
Yeah. So my child, that's why I said it was pleasant, sweet.
Bitter.
Yeah. Bitter. The bitter aspects, some bitter aspects, which I passed through in the hands of my father. If I tell you.
We want to hear it.
Right. I had to do a kind of upbringing. So that is why I tell children these days, we are being more righteous than God and the Bible. the way we are treating them.
Okay.
Yeah. When you hear parents, it's not just smacking that, it's not smacking that builds the child. Like God said, it's a foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. Like the rod of correction. Remove it. But today, we have decided we remove the rod of correction. Okay, back to this aspect. My father was a great disciplinarian. If you say don't
dare it.
You dare. When you dare, nothing saves you from the repercussion. An instance, he asked us not to go to pluck cherry anymore. We targeted him, he traveled, we went. It started from me, the most junior, who was placed to wash. He made us tear the cherry into 2 halves. He will use the 4 halves to wash your eyes.
Wow.
He did it to me as young as I was. I think I was about 9 or 10 years old then. And he did it to all my older brothers 10. And your mother will be made. He did their own at night, while he did my own in the day, because he caught me
during the day.
Yeah. And our mothers positioned the lamp to make him see what he was doing well. Because as he was said, only one of my other brothers missed it. So, a situation where we forgot something in the farm and my father came. Where is this? I say it's not there. He will say, okay. You wait till around 9 p.m.
We ask you to go and bring
Kenneth, go to the farm and bring this thing. You have to pay the price of not being responsible in leadership.
That's serious.
Bring it. We'll make sure your mother sits there
to wait for you.
So that she doesn't move out to send somebody to accompany you. So, the upbringing was rough, but it's paying off today. It's paying off. I could stand in a situation by God's grace. So I would say, God gave me the kind of father that I needed.
To prepare you for the future.
I didn't know he wouldn't be there. I was waiting for my school start results when he passed on at the age of 59.
Wow.
So that was how I found myself, to a great extent, sponsoring myself in the university.
Oh yeah, you did that?
With something like this, campus photography.
Wow. So tell us your experience in the university, because you just said that you sponsored yourself in the school.
I said partially.
Okay, partially.
Because I wouldn't want to be ungrateful to my mother. She set some things in motion. Because it wasn't her fault. The time I entered the university, 2 of my older brothers graduated the year before. And that time was a period where art graduates, it was not easy for them to be employed. So that was what happened. Yeah,
and you just entering.
Yeah, my university education, it was really rough. The definition, instance is that I didn't have more than 2 trousers and 2 shirts at any point within the 4 years.
And what school is that?
And the greatest university in Africa. The only university where vernacular is not spoken, in this country. The Great University of Benin.
Wow.
Uniben,
Great Uniben.
So, that was where I got my first degree and got my master's degree. And it was a great experience. When I look back now, I love what I went through, and though it was not very palatable, there were several occasions, almost every Monday morning, I was missing the first, second lecture.
Why?
Because I would either be returning from another town like Lagos where I want to snap photograph, or I'll be returning from my village because I also had tomato farm in my village. So those were the two combinations. So it was almost a routine
For you.
for me that I would miss first, second lectures
Before
before
you get to the campus.
I get to the campus. There was this one instance I went to cover a birthday party in Lagos, and I had an exam on Monday. The birthday party took place on Sunday. I left Lagos by 2 a.m. night bus. I arrived Uniben Gate by 7 a.m. because there was delay on the way. I had exam by 9 a.m.
So how were you able to do that rush as in to?
When I'm going like that, I will carry my small torchlight. Where I'm crushed between the two rows of seats in the luxurious bus, I'll be using my torchlight to revise my notebook, to revise my lessons and all that. So that when I just arrive, straight into the exam.
So tell us, what gave you that passion to be pushing? Because there are a lot of circumstances that is enough to pull you off. But you kept on having faith in yourself, you kept on pushing. What gave you that passion?
Yeah, I came from a family where my both parents believed in education, though they didn't have the means. I was getting the words from my father, I was getting the word from my mother. And there is this love in me. I wanted to teach.
Okay.
Having that drive, that interest,
That passion.
I wanted to teach, and I wanted to teach science. So, and there was no way I could achieve it without going to school. So that was why when I was filling my JAMB form, I filled education chemistry first choice, education chemistry second choice. Then we had opportunity to make choices. So I really wanted to be a teacher. I am not a teacher by chance. I am a teacher by choice.
Yes.
And so if God would give one opportunity to come again, I think I'll choose the same profession.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I see things that, when I look around, I thank God I am a teacher. I am proud I am a teacher. So that drive, there was no way I cannot go to learn carpentry, to do tailoring and come back to teach in the classroom. So the only alternative was going to university.
Okay.
Yeah. And in engineering, they have practitioners in the different kinds of engineering, but teaching, no.
No, you must go to school.
You must go to school. So that was the first drive. I didn't have any interest in any trade.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have any interest in any other course. It's either to teach chemistry or to teach mathematics or to teach both.
So after your graduation, where did you first work?
That's a huge question. After my graduation, the first job I did was security job in Apapa Wharf, Lagos. The next job I did was teaching in primary school, St. Michael's Nursery and Primary School, Sabwa Jambwadi. Remember, I taught primary 5B. Primary 5B, yeah.
Still remember?
Yeah. Primary 5B, I can still remember names of some of my pupils. Yeah, primary 5B. Those were before I left there and founded my own teaching outfit, Pilot Educational Services, Lagos, where I was teaching foreigners, Nigeria, Indians, Lebanese. I even had taught up to Canadian American, doing home coaching in those. Before the Abiola saga
came,
everybody
jumped back.
So when few of them came back again, resumed again until 1995 when I left Lagos because I hated Lagos. I said it was not a city I could stay.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't like a system that pushes me. Lagos was pushing me.
How do you mean?
Yeah. You don't move at the pace you want to move in Lagos. You have to run unnecessarily in Lagos.
Can you give us just an instance?
An instance, I don't see why when you want to board a vehicle, you must run to meet the vehicle.
That's true.
Whereas there is a bus stop. And if you say, why must I run to meet the vehicle? Whether you are ill or not,
You must run.
you must run to meet the vehicle. So, no, this is not the place for me. So I left Lagos and came down to that. And I'm thanking God I left Lagos. To date, anything that will make me sleep in Lagos, I don't.
You don't prefer it?
No.
So you just ended your profession schools, your professional courses you were teaching people, you just ended it like that?
Yeah. I looked at it. The job I was doing was not pensionable. Moreover, the foreigners, they could leave anytime. It's the same teaching I'm doing, mathematics, physics, chemistry.
Okay.
I was teaching them.
Okay.
And at the time I had employed teachers. It was a Ghanaian teacher I handed over the few. My French teacher, I handed over the few students to.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't just abandon them like that.
Okay. So how did you get into the civil service?
Yeah. How I got into the civil service was a drama. It came after into the public service teaching job. I graduated in 1991.
Okay.
I was absorbed into the job in 1997. So, if you talk of employment as a teacher, I was unemployed for a period of about 6 years after graduation. It was a drama. I was into church planting for my church, and I was moved to Nsukka to plant a church. After planting the church, I discovered that most of our converts who were secondary school students in SS3, SS2, SS1 could not read. No. So it was a challenge. So the challenge was like, I am here and these people cannot read. Christianity is it just all about heaven? If it's all about heaven, wouldn't education help them to make it? So I created educational Sunday school, which we were doing 7 to 8:30. Then my wife will be teaching some class. I'll be teaching some class, higher classes. So, and started extramural lessons for the SS3 students because there were science students among them who would hold lectures with chemistry lectures with science students. Then I would teach the other ones mathematics. All of them mathematics. So I was having about 11 students altogether. And I was combining all the senior classes. So it got to 11 now. Some of them, they told me, why not come to school to obtain permission from principal so that you start teaching us?
Yeah.
It's a primary school teacher who read integrated science that teaches us chemistry in school. And when I looked at their note cards, he was teaching them in what we call trivial names, old names in chemistry. And we are now in what we call IUPAC nomenclature, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry nomenclature. So, and I said, no, I went to obtain permission from the principal. The principal refused. He didn't believe I was a graduate. He said, how can you be a graduate of chemistry and I'm looking for chemistry teacher all over, and you tell me you are here doing church planting? I don't believe. Let me see your certificate. I won't allow you to teach my students without seeing your certificate. I'm talking of one retired Mr. Ashinze, N.E. from Ogwashi. So with that passion, I went and brought my certificate. He said, who was your vice chancellor when you were in school? I said, Professor Grace and Lily Williams. He now asked me, what happened to you? So in summary, he seized my certificate. He said, I am taking your certificate to Asaba because they told us if we see science teachers, we should employ and bring them names. So I have seen one, and he made a statement. If you refuse to teach because you came here to pastor, I will go to the UB of Nsukwa and they will do in my way. Nobody will attend your church again because you refuse to develop the community. So when I told my general overseer, I said, no, you can. Reverend fathers were teaching and they are still teaching. It can help the gospel. So that was how I joined the teaching service.
Wow. It's really a drama.
So, I was there till 2020, 21, before I was transferred.
Wow. In case you're just joining us, it is HBS show History Behind Success, and our guest on this program is the chairman of Asuss, Delta State Chapter. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. HBS show with lesson, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Good to know that you're still there. You're still on the program HBS, Show History Behind Success. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing. So before that break, you're talking about church planting and the rest. Are you a pastor?
I shy away from accepting that title. I accept the job. I like to identify with the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why are you shying away from the title?
I know. The little I studied the Bible, he never gave it that to anyone as title.
Okay.
He gave it as job.
Okay.
Pastors, apostles, he was describing the job.
Okay.
So I do the job. I was privileged to be in the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us the humble beginning of the Asuss, talking about academic staff, junior or secondary school.
The Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools
Yes.
came to birth from the reasoning of our founding fathers, examining the status of tiers of education. And there are 3 tiers of education: the tertiary, the secondary, and the primary. You now looked at it from the welfare point of view and academic point of view and others. Lecturers in the tertiary, universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education are not bonded together in a union. We have the Asuss for the universities. We have the Asuss for the polytechnics. We have CoASU for the colleges of education. For the purpose of direct, specific negotiation of their welfare with the government, with their employers. Then that gave an eye-opener that university lecturers, college of education lecturers, polytechnic lecturers have a better welfare. Not only because of their higher qualification, because first degree holders in the university are better placed in terms of salary package than those in the secondary schools. So same comparison goes to colleges of education, polytechnics compared with secondary schools. Now say no. They now came to the realization that what is keeping the secondary schools at that low level of welfare is the bond. We call it the marriage, the inconvenient marriage between primary school teachers and secondary school teachers under the Nigeria Union of Teachers.
Okay.
So that was the first breath. So they now began to work out modalities and agitate for separation, as it were, between lecturers, academic staff of the 3 tiers of the 3rd tier of education. They are the same level, but not in the same union. So why would teachers in secondary school that are not in the same level be yoked together with teachers in the primary school? So that was how Asuss started as Conference of Secondary School Tutors. Cost. When they were going for registration as a trade union. So the Ministry of Labor and Productivity advised that the name be changed to Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools. And the Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools, formerly known as COST, was bettered in Delta State in the year, that was 2000, year 2000. But God, the court judgment establishing us in the year 2002 by Abo High Court judgment. And our pioneer state chairman here was retired Comrade Dr. C.Okoh.Chairman. He handed over to retired Comrade Utijov, who this small man here took over. And God brought us here.
Okay, before you took over, what are those things that were not in place that is currently in place now?
I hope you are not leading me through the corridor of temptation to sing my praise.
No, not at all.
Because I would like other people to say what they want me to say now. This is a very tempting question, putting me in the dark. All right. I would say whatever was in place now was already there somewhere in the air.
Okay.
As a result of the effort of my predecessors.
Okay.
Yeah. They worked. But there was no office. This office we see now was not there in Asaba or anywhere when I took over.
Wow. So they were just working from their various offices.
Homes.
Okay.
And I started also working from my home, from my school. I became chairman when I was in Agweuru Secondary School, Ewuru. I was driving down from here. But I studied the system when I saw that much of the meetings that move things forward are held outside office hours. I needed some of such meetings and all that. I had to work my transfer. I'm driving to and fro. I had to work my transfer in, and it paid off. It did. I came into office in 2016 and actually started work in 2017. But it was in December 2016 we came into office. 2017, July 13th, the state government, for the first time since 2000 that the union started, the state government gave Asuss recognition.
Wow.
As an association of secondary school teachers, a union that will unionize, represent secondary school teachers. So the governor, whom I call Comrade Governor, the tutors governor, Senator Dr. C.Okoh.Chairman, saw reason to stand upon the existing court judgments to recognize Asuss. So the letter is here and giving us authority to deduct dues from source, contributions from our members, from secondary school teachers. So with that, we are afloat and we moved on. Today, we have this office. Asuss is a name.
A well-known
name. As you said. A well-known name in Delta State. And I must say that it's not only in Delta State.
Okay.
Delta is one of the several states. In Edo State, secondary school teachers got their independence when Lucky Benedio was there.
Okay.
In the year 2002, I think.
Okay.
Benue State there's no secondary school teacher that is a member of NUT. And different states, Ekiti and all that. But we are talking of Delta State. So, by God's grace, secondary school teachers in Delta State, we are progressing. So I can't list all that were not there when I came on board. I give glory to Almighty God.
Yes. So tell us, you've been talking about how you love education, you love hard work. So tell us, how did you meet your wife?
Why must you come from that angle?
Wife. How did you?
And why must you come from that angle? I think I'll make a request. You permit me to place a call across to her to obtain permission of her to reveal how and where we met. The extent I will reveal. All right. When I was in year 2 in the university, that was in 1987. When I actually entered, I had this cousin. He grew up in our house. So we're a bit more, we're privileged. So, and my father saw him and said, "You are bright, come and start studying with my children." So we grew up together. So when I entered the university, because they are not that well privileged, he was okay, afraid that he couldn't make it to a higher school. He was an apprentice in a printing press. So whenever I have anything to come down from Unibank in Abo, I will stay with him. Because no other place to stay. I will stay with him. From there, I go to library whenever I'm on holidays and all that. And it happened that my wife's mother was raised in that compound.
Okay.
So it was a premises owned by the stepfather to my wife's mom.
Okay.
So my wife was always coming from there to fetch water and all that. So if you add 2 + 2 to 4, I think you can get to our night.
So when she was coming to fetch water, you were just somewhere eyeing her.
I didn't know, I can't exactly say who was eyeing the other. So you don't just jump into conclusion, I was the one who eyed, but there was eye. And the eye was productive.
Wow. And today?
Today I would say that we are blessed with 5 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls.
Wow.
And it has been a blessing. Yeah. She's one of those women that a man can die for.
I like that. I know.
I'm just telling you the real situation.
Yeah.
Because by my growing up, I knew myself. I don't know if I would say that there are parts of me that may not be easy to tolerate.
Okay.
There are. But all this, but I'm not a bad husband.
I understand.
So, we went through tough times. And she was there.
The love was there.
The wonderful thing is that what we went through did not affect the love one day.
Wow.
No, it didn't. It did not. So, I give it to her. At times, I'll tell her, I know that you love me more in this marriage. So I like being frank. There are two people I must tell the truth in my life, God and myself.
That's wonderful.
Yes. If I must tell lie to other people, I must tell these two people the truth. So when I am second to somebody in performance, I must tell myself the truth. I am second to somebody in performance. So she's good. Thank you. Glory to God. Having her.
Wow. And I believe she will be saying the same thing also.
Yeah.
So before we go, your advice to our youth.
If I look at the life of this small man here, Kenneth C.Okoh, I will tell the youth. If I look at the society, how things are going, I will tell the youth that it's difficult to advise them. It's difficult to advise the youth these days. But what I will tell the youth these days now is that the computer was made through processes that took years. Before they got the computer, they called it palm top. It took years of starting, revolving, rearranging. So what I'm telling the youth is, be patient. My boys, my girls, my brothers and sisters. It can be disruptive to attempt to build room in a day. Youths, I'm pleading with you, be patient and take this education very seriously. Third, I will tell the youth that they should not make the mistake my generation made. Our generation is different from their generation. We copied the impression that going to school, having a degree, that the purpose is to work, to do, secular job, sitting behind one table and treating files. No. Youth, the worst thing that I wish you is to be a salary earner. I won't wish you that. Youth, salary job is the most decorated prison. Youth, the richest people on earth are not employees, but employers of labor. You went to school to learn to become an employer of labor, to create things, to be creative. So youth, I plead with you, my friends, my children out there, look for something, be creative, build yourselves. Because today, I am regretting the 6 years after graduation that I spent looking for secular job. I had the opportunity of learning how to build shoes free of charge, but I didn't tap it. So as a graduate, wherever you are, look for what to add that will make you an employer of labor. And shun drugs, please. Drugs do not remove pains. They only make you not to be conscious that the pains are there. And in the long run, it destroys you. Run away from drugs. run away from youthful vices. And let me tell you, youths, you were not the first people to suffer unemployment. Unemployment has been there, what they call unemployment. But for me, I do not believe that there is unemployment. Because 4 years ago, I went back to check. The real meaning of unemployment is what you do keeps you occupied to earn genuine living. So, if what we do to put food on the table is employment, then there is nothing like unemployment, because there are things to do around us that will generate income. So youth, look for how you will satisfy the environment. What is needed in the environment that you will satisfy. Service, material things, you will supply, you will satisfy, and then charge money on it. That is how I live my life.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for your time on this program. Thank you. All right, youth, be patient, be creative, and be an employer of labor. We've come to the end of the program HBS show, History Behind Success. I know that you learned something today with our wonderful guests talking about the chairman of Asuss Delta State Chapter, Comrade Kenneth C.Okoh. I am Blessing of Omeo. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll do it again. Bye.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.